Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and level the top of this off. You're gonna need some type of tool to draw with, either a pencil, I've got a paper clip, but we're gonna have to do this from the side. And we are sitting it on the bottom of this, but we're not pressing down, okay? And you can see that you can like rotate this pot, so I would keep it on the table and you can't pick it up while you're doing this. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and change the view of this so you can see, you're gonna see my camera. Look at that, it's to infinity. Yeah, do you see that? Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and take my ruler and I'm gonna put this on the side. I'm gonna measure and try and find where my lowest point is, which over here looks like it's at 2. Okay, so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna have to look from the side of the ruler. I can't look from the top, like where I am. You're gonna have to bend over and make a mark at that 2. Okay, so I am making a mark here, and then I'm gonna kind of twist, do the same thing, make a mark. So what we're doing is making ourselves a little dot to dot. Okay, you've done those where you connect the numbers, right? 1, 2, 3, 4 when you were little. Okay, so same thing. We're just gonna go all the way around and mark this. And so this is going to make it where you're not gonna cut and cut and cut and then all of a sudden your whole project is gone. Okay, because lots of people think, oh yeah, I can eyeball this, but you can't. Okay, you gotta give yourself some kind of help. So I'm just gonna mark all the way around and let me show you this. See if I can get this focused. I don't know if it'll focus on this or not. There we go. Maybe. Okay, so you can see all my little dots. Okay, now you're gonna take this and you're gonna connect those dots. So you're not gonna cut it yet, because what if you drew something, you randomly had one that was like in the wrong place? So you need to use your brain on this and kind of make sure that you see that everything, you know, you double check and it looks right. I'm gonna have to check over there. I feel like something, let me double check one time over here. Okay, this one's a little low. Okay, so I fixed that. So now I can go ahead and take my tool. If you had one of these, this would be helpful. And go ahead and cut this off. Some people have pots that are really not level. And then some people have just a little bit. It doesn't matter because we're going to trim it and then smooth this out. Oops. Okay, so I have that. I'm going to now like need to round this edge, but now I have something that is much more level than it was. Okay, so I would just smooth this out, round this. You can see you don't want to have this like sharp edge on either side. Okay, so make that dot to dot and connect it and then cut it. You'll have this little bit of scrap that's going to get thrown away. So I'm going to grab another tool. A fun trick with this, we're going to make the legs, but we're going to make them hollow to help them dry out. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and take a piece of clay. I'm going to go ahead and squish like I had done before. Okay, and then roll it in my hands. Okay, to make like that bigger coil. Now you're going to have to think about it. What type of animal are you making? Okay, are you making an elephant where it would make sense to have legs that are really thick? Okay, or are you making something like a giraffe where you would need something that was a little bit skinnier? Okay, and then the other thing is thinking about what thickness are they at one point, like at the top and at the bottom. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead, we'll just make these even just to show you. So I'm gonna start with this piece of clay and then I'm gonna cut the top and the bottom off. And you could go ahead and make a couple of these, so then you'd be able to measure. When you make these bigger, or when you roll them, it's going to make them bigger. So if you don't have like a measurement and you have all the legs made at the same time, you could end up with legs that are different thicknesses. Okay, so I need all eyes up here, guys. This is kind of hard. Okay, it really is. So I'm gonna go ahead. I've got some coils that are made. I'm gonna use a skewer. This is nothing fancy. This is, I mean, what you would barbecue with. But I'm gonna take this, and my goal is to get this through the center of this out the other side at the center. Okay, and so the way that you do this is by putting it in the center here, and then as you put this, as you push this in, you rotate it. So then you can tell if you are starting to go crooked. Okay, you're like constantly checking. Okay, and so you just keep rotating. I keep pushing this in. Okay, but I can tell if I weren't to do that, I could easily have this tilted and go through the side. So if I just rotate, let's see, I'm almost there. Okay, you see that? Okay, so that's pretty close. If it's a little bit off, that's okay, but it's gone through the center. So this part through to this part. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this and put this on the table, and I'm gonna roll this. So this is like a rolling pin, but it's on the inside of the clay. Okay, and so I'm gonna take both sides and I'm gonna press and roll this on the table. And you can see as you do that, I pressed more on this side, that it makes this bigger. Okay, and so I'm just going to continue to do that, and that will help even this out. It's a pretty cool trick. Okay, you could go and roll some more. We don't want to make this like paper thin, but this is going to help dry things out. Okay, it's going to make them where they're going to be more likely to be at the right consistency tomorrow. Okay, so we're going to try and get 4 of these. Okay, it's very possible that you won't get that like all today, but I want you to give this a shot and try it. I'd say let's put some dry paper towels on these tonight, because we have had some problems with things being really wet. And so let's try that. We have a little bit of time, and then we will, take back and start this again tomorrow, because there's even more to this once we do this. Okay, so if you are at home tomorrow, make sure you're bringing enough stuff home to work on.